This COVID-19 pandemic has taken a lot of toll on our physical and mental health. And we always try to find out what are the remedies for this. And personally, I feel that physical and mental health, we can divide them for the point of view of discussion, but, but they are very much interrelated. And I feel that out of the two, if we keep ourselves mentally fit and strong, a physical body can always be strong. It just follows the mental health. So we all know that there are so many stresses because of this pandemic. There are so many negative thoughts which are creeping in our mind, and in every situation and every individual may have different kind of worries. For us, it may be loss of lives, increased miseries. Then there can be financial burden on the institutions and organizations. You have not many people who are dependent on your incomes, and if your incomes they are going down and they're depleting, the persons who are down the chain will also get affected. So in a nutshell, this is all been very much related, and these overpowering negative thoughts, when they creep in, the children, the children, the students, they are worried about their future, their exams. Very poor people are worried about their 2 squares of meal, the different, very difficult hygienic conditions in which they are staying. Their social economic status is not allowing them to have a good frame of mind. So all these negative thoughts, when they creep in our minds, what do they set in? They set in a vicious cycle of depression. Most of the time, the mind is gloomy, you are in a low mood, and when you are low, definitely you cannot think of celebrating and being in high spirits. So I feel that how to overcome these kinds of negative thoughts, and to my mind, one must take shelter into spirituality for this. 99% of the population in the world has some or the other religion they are abiding to, and they should take refuge in their religion. They should go close to God. They should think and they should listen to their inner voice, what it is saying. They should try to keep their mind calm. And there are various ways which are described how to keep our mind calm. It can be in the form of meditations, it can be in the form of hymns, it can be in the form of various chants. And there are so many ways by which different religions and different spiritual school of thoughts, they tell us that how to train our mind. If we are able to train our mind and keep it calm, we know that calm mind will definitely breed good thoughts. It will always give us strength, and it will make us feel that these overpowering negative thoughts are not going to stay with us forever. And with all these positive thoughts, we can move forward. And if we are mentally strong, then we can obviously be physically strong. So with all these suggestions of mine, like it may be meditation, hymns, chants, then we can look out for our more own passions, our own hobbies. Music is one thing which is very relaxing to our mind. All these things may not be equally good for everybody, but we can pick and choose whichever we like. Once our mind is in a positive mood, the second thing which we should think of in increasing the strength of our physical body is the kind of food habits which we are trying to develop. If we are able to, in this kind of lockdown situation, there are two ways of tackling, the two ways by which we should look into the food which we are having daily. One part of it goes into increasing our immunity, so that we are able to cope up with this problem. And different kinds of medicines, they are promoting different ways by which we can improve this innate immunity. It may be in the form of vitamin C's, high doses of citrus fruits. Then you have various medicinal herbs in the form of garlic, ginger, tulsi. All these things, they have a role, and we must follow whatever the advice we are getting. In India, we are getting a good number of advice from Ayush Department of Government of India, and similarly, whatever the literature supports, we should follow all those things. The other aspects of food is that it should be easily digestible, it should be fresh, it should be full of antioxidants. We should avoid what you call the tamsik bhoj, which we call in Hindi. That those food items means lot of spices, junk food. All these things should be shunned in this era because they all may have a negative impact on immunity and as well as on mental health. After food, third comes the exercise. We must have all kinds of exercise. We should have the cardiac exercise, the cardio ones. We should have exercises which we can do at home without any weights. There are so many ways with which we can replicate what we are doing in gym. And I think we should not forget our own traditional yoga, and which is very important because rest of the exercise they treat only our skeletal systems and our muscular systems, but the yogic kriyas and asanas, they help us in keeping our visceral health intact, and visceral health also includes the mental health. So if we are doing exercises of all the joints, different kind, whatever our body is allowing, if we do that, get up early in the morning, do exercises, take fresh air, breathe, do some breathing exercises, pranayams, all these things, they have little impact, and when they are all joined together, this will keep us very strong both mentally and physically. And last but not the least, I think, because in this lockdown everybody has a lot of free time, so we should spend our time into those passions which we were not able to do prior to lockdown because of a number of reasons. It could have been the stress of our work. It could have been other reasons why we were not being able to follow all those pursuits and passions. So in this, I think one must have some good hobbies with which one can get absorbed alone. You may not need anybody else's support to keep yourself healthy and fresh. And music is one thing, reading is one thing, and there are other ways people may be very happy doing, taking care of their pets, taking care of their garden, taking care of their the house. So wherever any person has his latent desires which he was not being able to pursue before, now you have ample of time, you should do that, because that will give you a good feeling. Now coming on to what the urological aspects of this pandemic is going to happen. The one thing is, I was being asked that whether the urological disorders per se increase the risk for COVID-19 infection. I do not think so, unless those disorders which have some bearing on the immunity. It may be in the form of malignancies, which are bound to decrease the immunity of any individual. Yes, they can predispose you to an increased risk for COVID-19 infections. Apart from that, those disorders which predispose you to decrease in immunity may be like as a complicated ones, where say for example you have stone disease or a neglected prostatic obstruction with chronic retentions and chronic kidney diseases. All these things, once chronic ailments have taken over your body, then you are at risk. It may be in the form of heart disease, diabetes, or chronic kidney disease, or malignancies. All these things clubbed together, they have a same common pathway, that they decrease the immunity of the body. And once the immunity of the body is decreased, if you catch an infection, it can be lethal. So I think that's for the predisposition of urological disorders for COVID infections. Other thing is that because of this lockdown, which every urologist is facing, is that most of our patients who have been with us or who want to be with us, now they have a fear in this mind that what will happen to their urological disorder. They are not aware that how long this lockdown is going to be. And in that situation, I think reassurance and counseling is the guru mantra for this. If we are able to connect to our patients, by mere speaking to our patients can infuse a lot of confidence to our patients. We can use all kinds of technology which is available to us. We can do WhatsApp calling, we can do video conferencing, we can talk to them personally, and all these things they can be a small piece of advice, but it adds to the patient's psyche, and the patient gets full confidence when he's been reassured by his doctor that nothing is going to happen for about a month or so, and we are always here. We can take care of your emergency. Say for example, a stone patient is awaiting for a surgery, or a BPH patient is awaiting surgery. So we can tell them that nothing is going to happen in 1 month's time, and God forbid if you are landing up in an emergency, the doors are always open. We are always here 24/7, and all these words of kindness will definitely make the patient very confident in us, and I think that is the way forward we should do. The other areas where we can manage them conservatively, we can keeping the mantra of social distancing, we can advise them on phone, we can give our prescriptions on WhatsApp, and this is the way I think we should go forward. Thank you.